Good morning, everybody. We arrived here at the Graceland RV Park last night after dark.
I was gonna say, it's not really night. It's about 5:30,
yeah.
But it's already dark. It's that time of the year.
The campground is one of those ones that they're kind of just packed in. You'll be able to see over here. The majority of them are pull-through sites. Oh yeah, you'll recognize that one there.
But look at those ones.
Look at how well marked this is. Look at that. No problem with what site's yours. That was cool. So when we came in the middle of the night, that was easy to find our site. But it was packed in here. There was only, I think we took the last pull-through, she said, and then they had one or two other back-ends that they had left. But busy campground, obviously, because of
extremely convenient to this place.
Yeah. So we are heading over today to play with the king. So this is going to be pretty interesting. Just to show you guys how convenient this is to Graceland. This is the RV park, and this is Graceland, or at least the welcome center to Graceland. Graceland's across the street, but they take us over in a bus.
It's all this. Like this is.
Well, yeah, it's all Graceland.
This is where the airplanes and the attractions are, and then you take the tour bus to the other side of the street to the mansion. So it's all of this.
Listen to her, because I didn't research any of this. I just knew how to get here.
Anyway, here's where you can park your RV, and they have oversized parking, and you can buy your tickets.
Cool. Yeah. And then the mansion is actually across the street then?
Yes.
Got it. By the way, video is going to be a little shaky today. I'm shooting this handheld, no stabilizers today, and we're not able to shoot inside of most of Graceland, but we did talk to them, and supposedly they're going to provide us with what's called B-roll, so we should have some video. I am able to take pictures, so I will take some photographs and do what's called a Ken Burns effect, where they move and turn and that kind of thing. So it'll be kind of like video.
Like
which is
PowerPoint presentation.
Which is weird, because why they wouldn't just allow us to shoot video, but you know how I am with that stuff. So we'll see how it goes. You grew up listening to Elvis, didn't you?
I would say Elvis is one of those people that everybody knows their name, obviously his name. Everybody knows his music, or most of it, or the most popular. But I really don't know exactly his facts, what he did, how big he was. It was not part of my generation. I guess it was part more of my mom's and grandmother's generation.
So he was popular in Mexico too?
Oh, over the world.
Where?
Okay, mention in the comments if you don't know who Elvis Presley is.
The entrance here to Graceland is very much like if you were entering Universal Studios or Disneyland or something like that. Not at all what I expected, so kind of cool.
4 restaurants, casual, formal dining, barbecue, of course.
They do have the music though. Listen, let's get into it.
Oh my God. Apologize for him dancing. He's a little bit sick today.
I am not sick. Here's your tour options. Okay, we've got our tickets here. We're doing the Elvis Experience Tour, which is going to include the Graceland Mansion and then all of the exhibits, the airplanes, the museum, all that kind of stuff. Should be really, really cool. And we want to thank Graceland and specifically Carla in marketing for allowing us to come and share this with you guys. So pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, so we can let you know if you're a huge Elvis fan, if it's a bucket list, or if not, if you should come and still do it. Let's go and check it out so we can know.
I used to be a huge Elvis fan, but I really don't know much anymore.
Huge Elvis
My mom
fan.
is a big Elvis fan.
She has been here twice or 3 times.
Yes. Oh yeah, that's right. My mom has been here a couple of times with my Aunt Loretta.
Yeah.
So they love it. She loves it. It goes to show you how much this guy has touched people's lives. He's been dead since the late 70s, I believe. I don't know the exact date. I'm sure you guys do. But pretty amazing that this is all still with this guy that's touched everybody's lives. Really neat. They've got us all suited up with iPads and headphones and stuff. So I guess we're going to learn a lot today. Before we go outside, I just want to let you guys know that this is a little bit of a long sequence, but there's so much to see inside the Presley Mansion. I wanted to try and show as much of it as possible. Once we get outside, we're going to go through the meditation gardens and that sort of thing, and it's really, really cool. So stick around and we'll be done here in just a minute. So far the tour is really cool, and we're going to continue over the meditation garden. And now it's time to check out Elvis Presley Motors. This should be cool. This Icons exhibit is all about people he influenced. When you read some of the statements by these artists in this area here, it is absolutely incredible, the influence that Elvis had on people. Just amazing.
Amazing.
This whole Graceland complex is Elvis's Disneyland. It's pretty crazy. There's a bunch of different exhibits. There's the cars, there's restaurants. Not what I expected at all. I don't know what I expected, but not what I expected at all.
I thought it was just gonna be like a museum and a little movie and to see his house, his mansion, but it's more than that. It's like a whole day, like an all-day attraction.
stopped by the Gladys Diner. We're trying a peanut butter and banana sandwich that's grilled.
Let's see if you can see it.
It smells delicious.
It's pretty delicious.
Yeah. All right, we're done with the mansion. We're done with the exhibits. And now we're heading over to the airplanes. The mansion tour itself includes the airplanes, but if you do the Elvis experience that we did, does not normally include the airplanes. You have to add that for $5. And if you do the VIP tour, you also have to add $5 to the airplanes as well. That's a little bit on that. The airplane thing should be pretty cool because we like planes.
We do.
Now it's time to check out one of Elvis's airplanes, the Lisa Marie. Just so you guys know what's going on here at Graceland, there's actually 3 separate components of Graceland. There's the airplanes, pretty self-explanatory, his 2 airplanes. The Graceland mansion, again, pretty self-explanatory. Graceland is the home where he lived with his parents, and you get to go tour that. You get to see the pool area, the meditation area outside, and
it's where he raised his family. He had all his entertainment where he will bring friends and everything. And yes, where Elvis is buried too.
Right, it's where their burial, all that kind of stuff. The third component and biggest component of that is called Elvis's Memphis. And Elvis's Memphis is 200,000 square feet of displays, and it covers everything from his automobiles called Elvis Motors to his influence on icons in the rock and roll industry, which is really, really cool.
Memorabilia that he had in his house, and all the pieces of furniture he used to have in his house, even before he remodeled too.
Right. One of the things I had said was that the Beatles influenced Elvis, and we saw in his one room, in the Icons room, that actually John Lennon said that if there wasn't for Elvis, there would be no Beatles. So that to me is a huge, huge statement. So all kinds of cool stuff like that. There's studio, there's a sound studio here that also has a theater in there, so you get to see Elvis movies being played. There's several different restaurants, there's ice cream, there's all kinds of cool stuff, including fashion as well, which he was kind of funny. I heard in one of the things them saying that everybody else in the world would look ridiculous in what he was wearing, but that was Elvis. So
he was just like putting a trend out there, and so he was the first one to do everything from music to outfits to a lot of stuff. He was the first.
Just a huge, huge influencer on everything rock and roll. So very, very cool.
I will say, if you are not an Elvis fan or you're just curious about it but not a huge fan, this is like a half-day attraction. You can do it in a half-day. If you're a huge Elvis fan, you're gonna read through everything and see every little video out there. It will be a full day.
You can buy packages where you just do the mansion and airplanes. You can do VIP tours, but you can also do mansion, Elvis Presley's Memphis, and the airplanes as well, and we'll make sure that we've got all that information up there. Now, with that being said, Lorena, let's give this a little bit of a rating. Now, this is, again, like a lot of other stuff. If you're a fan of the particular thing, it's going to have a higher rating than if you're not. If you're a huge Elvis Presley fan, which my mom was, this was a bucket list for her, and she, came immediately.
She still is.
She still is, yeah, still is a huge fan. I was a huge fan when I was a little kid. I kind of grew more into the heavy metal side of rock and roll and away from Elvis Presley, but I still understand the influence he had on music. And for me, I would think that this is a day trip. I think that that Elvis was extremely important to the music industry. He was important to the movie industry back in the day. And so I think his influence on the history of rock and roll is just unquestionable. So for me, I think it's a day trip. If you're within a day of here, then you should come and see it. What say you?
I grew up in a different place, although Elvis Presley is known all over the world. I mean, literally all over the world. So I knew hearing about Elvis and some of his songs, but I think lately more living in Las Vegas. In Las Vegas, obviously, everybody knows like Viva Las Vegas song from Elvis. So I think I've seen and hear more from Elvis since I've been in Las Vegas. For me, it's not that huge of an icon. I mean, I know he's an icon, but for me personally, it's not like I get wowed by Elvis. So being here made me appreciate all the stuff that he did when he was alive, all his accomplishments, and how he changed an entire generation of music, like totally from scratch. So that's very impressive. So for me, this Graceland and seeing the mansion and all that, it will be a if in the area for me. But like he said, if you're like an Elvis icon or like a fan, an Elvis fan, you should come and see it, at least as a day trip. Maybe for you it's a bucket list. For me, it's not, but at least as a day trip. For me, it's more like a if in the area.
So there you have it. Very, very cool though. Very, very well done. The Elvis's Memphis area is fairly new. I think it's only been up for since May of 2017, something like that. We'll find out that information and go from there. But for now, we're gonna head back to the camper, get a little bit of head back to the camper. She hates when I say that. We're gonna head back to the RV and get a little work done.
Back to the house. It's our house at the end
Back to the house, yes. And then we'll see what happens later on this afternoon. Well, I hope everyone enjoyed coming along with us to Graceland. We certainly had a good time. It was a much better attraction than we had expected. I don't know what we expected, but it was much better than we had expected for sure. Just a lot of really, really cool stuff and a lot of great Elvis history. But this is where we're going to call this one. So if it's your first time here, it'd be awesome if you subscribe to our channel, stay up to date on all of our travels, and it would be equally as cool if you liked the video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon in another one. Take care now. Bye.